Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me to this nice conference. And it's my pleasure and honor to be with the friendly Swedish people here. Let me take this opportunity to present the SilverNet movement in Korea. The keyword of the SilverNet movement is retired. Probably in your dictionary, retire means that leave your job and take a break for a long, long time and never come back. But my dictionary says that retire is changing your tire and go your way. So if you're looking at the retire means that until you retire, you did whatever you had to do. So make money for your family. And after retirement, you do whatever you want to do. That's the keyword of retire. Then if you're looking at this figure, then he's changing the tire. Then he's going his way with the happiness and enthusiasm. Now let me tell you that how this hypothesis became a reality in Korea with the SilverNet movement. Let me briefly say that the status and the problems in aging society in Korea. Then let me tell you how we try to resolve the issues. And most of my time will be introducing the SilverNet News, which is one of the SilverNet movement activities. In Korean men, the Korean man, in average Korean man lives 77 years old, but the average Korean woman lives 83.7 years. The woman lives a little longer than the man. Some experts say that within 20 years, the average Korean life expectancy will be more over 90, which has good aspect and bad aspect. Good aspect is, oh, I can live longer, so I can play golf for a long time. But the other best side is that what should I do without making money? And should I rely on the governmental medical care or whatever? So this is not the personal, not only the personal problem, it's the national problem too. Because we have already over 5 million, 11% of the population, the elderly people over 65. Then we are expecting 14% within 10 years, up to 2020. Then also the usual, the average Korean people retire at age of 55, so they have to live for over 30 years without making money or without doing something meaningful. So this is a big problem. Okay, if you can you remember the figure which is on the right side? It's just remember the number, 39.3. I'm going to test your memory later. We have issues of silver generation in Korea. We are categorized 4 different issues. One is medical and health. We already pay over 600 million US dollars for hypertension and over $1 billion for medical care for the elderly people. Then economic vulnerability is another problem. They make less money than whatever they need. So usually averagely they make like about less than $1,000 per month, but they spend over $1,500, which is going to be a critical problem. Another problem is social activities. The elderly people don't join the social groups, and they kind of be away. Particularly, the young people put them away from the social groups. Another problem is the interpersonal relationship. The participation of economic activity is very, the number of participation of economic activity is reduced day by day. So if you're looking at the young people, about 60% of people are working, but in the elderly people, only 37% of the elderly people are working. So this is kind of a big problem. It's already a headache, but we have more problem in another dimension. If you're looking at the digital Korea, we have 11.7 people are using the internet access for 65 and over elderly people. Then the one problem is same problem, medical and health problem in another dimension. Because we are using the internet to buy go to the hospital and get the medical services and more. So they have a hard time to get the medical services while the IT industry is growing. Then another one is economy. Then due to the lack of IT knowledge, it's really hard to get a job in IT industry. Not only the IT industry, then they are seeking the people using the IT technology. So they are getting hard time to get a job in the society. Then another problem is the social activities. The internet-based activities are growing, such as e-seminar and e-voting. So this kind of trend is putting the elderly people away from the society. So there are not many places they can go while the IT society is growing. The last problem is interpersonal relationship. Because of the social networking, like Facebook, Google, Twitter, and other networking trend, there are not many things they can do. And also, particularly the young people, they just join the social networking and do whatever they want to do, but the elderly people are not able to joining to the social networking. This kind of problem is getting worse and worse. So we decided that we have to teach and train the elderly people to know the ICT technology and use the ICT technology. So we have a strategy to resolve the problems. So we train the seniors by the peers. We have 20 groups that consist of mainly senior IT volunteers and let them teach the other seniors. Then last year, we trained 1,600 elderly people by those IT senior volunteers. Then we also have the centers, the 50 NGO centers, universities, and the private organizations, which has computers and networks. And we trained over 12,000 elderly people using those facilities. And also we having senior information awareness festivals. So we encourage the senior people to learn internet, then they use the internet. And this kind of approach works because it contributes to the life of elderly people. Then after 3 months, survey says they restore the confidence by learning this IT technology, internet. And also they are gaining the interest using IC for their lives. Some elderly people are getting much interest in opening the business, and one of those people opened the real estate in the internet. So his age was 82 or something. This was very interesting. Then the good point is that they get the confidence back. So they try to do something. And another benefit is that they try to experience and they try to do something on the internet. So they do the internet financial transactions, internet electronic commerce. They even open the e-commerce sites and internet administration services. Before this education, then my e-government offers a lot of services, governmental services, but not many elders use those services. But after they learn this ICT, the number of the elderly people using these governmental services is increasing. Then the social activities is also, the numbers are increased. The internet public activities increased up to 26%, and cyber community, they join the cyber community 15.6%, like CyWorld and other cyber communities. Then another one is the interpersonal relationship through the SNS. There's 18.6% of the elderly people who are educated were using the Twitters, and 7.9% using Facebook. This is kind of a weird result. We thought that more elderly people use the Facebook than Twitter, but surprisingly, they use Twitter more. So that you have to recognize that the elderly people like the real time better. They're not lazy at all. So after they learn this, because they are forgetting the things, we have to find some activities for them. So we create a lot of activities like a senior internet test so that they can join the test and get some prize. And SilverNet VJ, they carry their cameras and take some video and make a UCC. At this time, we collect the UCCs from the elderly people. Then amazingly, we get more than 150 UCCs for 1 month. Then we are having the contest now. Then the next, the SilverNet Nest is the teaching how to make the contents in the PCs and how to put the contents on YouTube and other sites. And senior internet search contest and SilverNet News, senior IT volunteers, they are giving the, some services to other elderly people, like photo services, taking photos for elderly people, and taking care of the lonely elderly people and those kind of services. And lifelong education organization, they teach their experience to the young people at those sites, and senior information awareness of the festivals. Among these the activities, I like to focus on the SilverNet News. Then I'm going to explain the details of how we developed this SilverNet News. This is the main page of SilverNet News in Korean. I wish I could bring the page with the Swedish, but too bad that I don't know the Swedish. Then let me show you the brief video clip that I prepared for you. This is in Korean, but we have captions in English.
실버의 문제를 실버 스스로 풀어간다는 모토로 2001년 창간했습니다. 이후 매년 수석 기자를 선발, 현재 158명의 기자들이 전국을 누비며 실버들의 소식을 전하고 있습니다.
G세대 못지않은 실버티즌의 디지털 세상, 오종우 기자가 취재했습니다.
컴퓨터와 인터넷을 배운 노인들이 전용 사이트에 노인 관련 소식을 올립니다. 기사 작성에서 촬영과 편집까지 노인들이 스스로 하고 동영상 뉴스도 만들어내고 있습니다.
컴퓨터를 잘하는 기초상에서 우리가 기사도 쓸 수 있고 이건 온라인 신문이기 때문에 컴퓨터하고는 우리 갈라놓을 수 없죠.
실버티즌들이 열정과 보람으로 가득한 새로운 디지털 세상을 즐기고 있습니다. KBS 뉴스 오종우입니다.
This lady is 68 years old, and she's very much popular, famous person in Korea among these elderly people. Then, do you see her face? She looks very happy and enjoy this work. And what is SilverNet News? SilverNet News is a newspaper, internet newspaper by elderly people and for the elderly people and of the elderly people. And to deliver and represent the Silver's voice to the public and to make clean the Korean cyberspace. Korean cyberspace in Korean, we have a lot of hacking incidents and the phishing and so many pornography and others. So the Silver said that we have to clean, the leader to clean the Korean cyberspace and to reduce the gap between generations. Then what we do is educating the internet skills to the reporters and operating website and recruiting and training reporters. We have 200 applicants every year. Then among them, we give 6 months of training, then select only about 30 reporters every year. So now we have 179. Then broadcasting newsletters and serving communities voluntarily. Then our newspaper covers so many different sections like education and culture, welfare and environment, and so on. So you can looking at these different sectors. Those sectors are familiar to each reporter, because if the reporter used to work as a principal of the primary school, then he is writing articles for education. Then footprint of SilverNet News, we started at 2000. We thought that Silvers, the elderly people, are pushing away or kicking away from the society while the informatization society is getting developed. So the MIC, Ministry of Information and Communication and University co-worked, and then we trained 45,000 elderly people at the 83 different universities. Then, but while we are teaching them, we realize that they're forgetting faster than they are learning. So if we teach them 20 different things, they're forgetting 30 different things. So we thought that we have to have them practice something and use this. So we launched the SilverNet News with 13 reporters and start to publish this internet news. Then 2 articles a month, 3 articles a month, nobody looking at the articles. It was very disappointing. But we had the hope or belief that it's going to be the playground for elderly people. Then 2005, we have our own website. In 2008, we adopted broadcasting, newscasting. So we are very leader of combining the newspaper and broadcasting together. In 2009, we launched the web education to teach the reporters using the internet. And social service activity was launched all in offline. Then 2010, the international section opened in Japanese and English. I wish you could open in Swedish, but the elderly people know about the Japanese and English, so opened in 2 different languages. Currently, 197 SilverNet News reporters actively work and enjoy their working. Amazingly, this 197 reporters and some staffs, including me, are all volunteers. So we only need $70,000 per year to operate this whole bunch of group. So this is very effective way of doing this. Then we know that the money is not the one to give this kind of work to the silvers, but the enthusiasm and the love is the one to make this come true. Then we have, this is the oldest person, reporter in SilverNet News. He is 86 years old. He is actively translating the English into Korean and publishing some books. He is he used to be a professor at the seminary school. Then we have 22,000 subscribers in Korea, and the most popular article has 73,000 subscribers. Then we have 185 articles put on the internet, SilverNet News every month. Then the people are scattered in everywhere. Most of them, 80% of them are in the urban area, but 20% of people are in the rural area. We cover all the area of Korea. The activities, first of all, we recruit the elderly people and teach them for 6 months. Then we have 3 times of offline class and give them the homework. Then the grading their homework and have some interview. Then we select a few of those elderly people as a SilverNet News reporter and give them certificate. And before we have the technical difficulties. We have a meeting, then decide what to, where to go and to whom to interview and things. Then they actually go to the outside and have an interview. And sometimes they interview the famous people in Korea. And sometimes they play with entertaining the other elderly people and helping the poor people, giving some voluntary work. And these are some of the board members of the SilverNet News. Actually, they decide where to go and whom to interview, and they write on their own PC, and they editing it, and they publish it. Then let me just introduce that we're going to have a very exciting event in this coming up 29th of October, Saturday. Then we expect about 8,000 elderly people will be gathered in COEX and have them experience the IC devices and services. So we invite all those elderly people and let them experience smart phones and 3D displays and medical devices, and we have classes to educate them, so that we like to expand our subscribers. Okay, those are 3 contributions we made and 3 objectives we did. We like to transfer the elderly people's knowledge and experience to the young people. So, and also, we like to do the bridging role between old and the youngs. I think that's our responsibility to do for the society. And most of all, building pride by community involvement. Amazingly, for 10 years, we have only 4 people died among 197. I don't have any scientific evidence or anything, but we know that they live longer. And the person who died last month came to the meeting right before he died. So I asked him then, you are very sick and you're a patient, how come you come to this meeting? Then he said that this is the reason that I live in this world. So they have a lot of passion and the enthusiasm. Then I believe that this kind of activity make them to live healthy. Then the broadcasting company asked the reporter asked one reporter that, you're going to live in the hospital for a year, or are you going to do this work for 1 month? Then he said, I'll choose this latter one. Then we're going to do the global cooperation and financial, self-financial support. This is our homework. Then let me finish with our plan of global expansion. We'd like to have the silver news on different countries within 5 years. Like we have silver news in Korea, then we like to see the silver news in US, we like to see the silver news in Canada, China, and silver news in Canada. And finally, we like to see the similar activities in, what country is this? Sweden. So I sincerely encourage you to have similar activities for the elderly people and let them live with something meaningful for their life. I think this is enhancing the quality of life. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Chung. I was actually about to ask how you would like to scale and export this wonderful idea, but you told us already. But let me just, you said something about testing our memory in the beginning, because I remember the number. So
I asked to remember the number, but I forgot to ask.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been sitting here thinking about this number.
39.8% is the internet access by the elderly people, which is not good number or not bad number. 39.8% is enough to initiate this kind of activities. So if you have over 30% of the elderly people accessing the internet, then it's possible to have this kind of activities.
I think we have something to work on here in Sweden. What are your questions for Professor Chung? Yes. We had one over there and one here.
Johan Hjötqvist, Health Consumer Powerhouse. This is a fantastic Korean success story, quite fascinating. Our congratulations. Evidently, you look upon this project, this kind of approach, as general enough or global enough to export it to other countries. Are there peculiarities, you might say, for the Korean society or Asian societies compared to Western world? Will elderlies around the world react in the same way to these kind of invitations and activities, or can you notice different cultural approaches here?
I don't see any difference between the Oriental countries and the European countries, because every country has newspapers and everybody has some willing to show off whatever they have or they know. But the cultural difference may make some different approaches to develop or initiate or develop these kind of things. And actually in Washington, I said that if any country have desire to initiate this kind of activities, I can give all the know-hows and experience we have, and also we can give the tools to make newspapers. We have a framework. So only thing you have to do is that the gathering few people and start to publish their articles on this newspaper. Then one other element you have to have is the patience. Then we have been doing this for 3 years without nothing, without having anything, just no articles on. So I asked my reporter, say that okay, if you have 100 hits on your articles, I can buy a camera for you. 100 hits. Now we have at least 3,000 hits for each article. So if you wait for enough time, it's going to be successful.
Patience. We had one more question over there.
My name is Magnus Attefors from RISE, Research Institutes of Sweden. I have a short question. Has it been hard to get the silvers involved in the education? Have you worked with incentives in any ways?
We didn't give out any incentives at all, but actually we started this movement in 2000. Then I got some fund from my government, and we educated 5,000 people at one time at 83 universities. When the elderly people really liked it, that's for free. But really liked it. We didn't give any incentives. We taught them 32 hours per week. That's one time. My wife wrote your book. They all voluntary work. Then one of those the student, the elderly student, hold me and asked me to extend the teaching. So we didn't have any problem collecting the students. We didn't have any problem teaching them. The only problem is they forgetting too fast. So we taught them in the class. Then we opened the advanced class a month later. But it wasn't the advanced class, it was repetition of the same class. So the key point is that teaching is not the one, then let them practice this in a certain way. In that case, they can do some business, they can do some the activities in the internet.
Teach, practice, and patience.
The patience.
Thank you very much, Professor Chung, for coming here and telling us this.